Alrighty. I think we're all good. I think we're all live. Welcome everyone. Thumb Guns, what's happening? Travis, happy birthday, my friend. Hope you have a great one. KT Cat, welcome. My little Mexican friend, how you doing? CXS Creations, welcome. HX690, great to have you. Shayart, hello, hello, hello. All right, bloody missed it. Missed this. Missed one week, and I miss it a lot. Helter, great to have you. Stephen Corey McQueen. Stephen Corey McQueen. How you doing? Shinsayete. Hola, hola. Ready to draw. Great to hear it. Travis, new hat. You bloody not. Very observant. Ines. Welcome, Orkin. Great to have you. Getting fresh. Welcome back. Fabian, I see ya. What's happening, dude? It's your first time being able to catch a live stream from the beginning. Awesome. Well, I am excited to do the stream. Alright, let's start moving some of this about the place. And for some reason, like usual, we've got some technical difficulties, which is always fun. I can't move. Why can't I move this? Alright. So. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, picked it up the other week. Needed some, the other one was getting a bit ratty. Got a couple of them in prep for America, which is going to be fun. Shinsayete, thank you. You just left the Spider-Verse Orchestra concert. That would have been bloody good. Alright. So let's see. Yep, we're working smooth. Beautiful. So I did... Oh, is this just out of power? Of course it is. Uno momento. Plug my bloody keyboard in. Fail. I mean, welcome to the stream. It's never a dull moment. Alright, I mean, it's pretty dull if I'm being honest, but... Okay, accessory connected allowed. Does it want to work now? Oh, look at that. Just needed some power. Alright, so I was thinking, let's just do some studies today, right? How's the mic volume as well? Let me know. As long as I'm not blowing your bloody ear holes off. Alright, so I'd like to play around. I saw this guy on Pinterest this morning, so I thought it would be kind of fun to have a play around. Two expressions, you know, one's kind of like and the other's like whoa. So we can give that a whirl. Maybe slap some color on him. We'll see, just as like a warm-up, see how we go, and then we just cruise into the rest of the stream. I reckon that sounds like a good idea. wait a minute or two to force some others to roll in. I've got an audio disconnected. Yes, I know that. I don't want any of this. Let's connect to the phone. And my phone's just turned off. Lovely. Oh, it is what it is. Okay, so let's get cracking, shall we? Let's settle in. So here, I mean, do we do timed? Oh, do we want to do timed? Lem, I appreciate you. I guess you could call it stylized. I don't know. I've got to turn this fucking notification off. What would this be called? This is so annoying. It gets me all the time. Let's just pause all notifications. Technically, I'm on Do Not Disturb. Let's see if that does it. Alright. So, just gonna have some fun. Cruise into it. Oh, Mixter, you bloody legend. Fuck! Stop it. I don't know if you guys get that. If you can hear that. Notifications to my fucking idiot, I tell you what. Hold on. I don't know what it is. What it would be under. It's always something. Always something. Audio disconnected. Yes, I know. You scumbag. Maybe it's because I've got the phone as an input device. That could be it. Just remove the phone. Too bad if we wanted to see anything on the phone today. That's alright. Let's see if that fixes it. Alright. Mother lover. There's a way to disconnect it, I'm sure. If someone has any help or knows what I'm doing, how to help. Okay, here we go. I think. This camera, disk view, no. Mic mode. Alright, I just got to Google this quickly because it's going to happen every 2 seconds. Give me 2 moments and then we'll get stuck into it. Very unprofessional, but welcome to the stream. How to remove iPhone continuity camera. Okay, well the phone's turned up. Oh, it's gonna be a process. All right, 5 minutes. Let's just get started. All right. But now, that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Okay. Vito, first timer. My apologies, not a smooth start, but great to have you. Harchu, new to the stream. It definitely is a regular stream. Great to have you. Okay. Let's just get started. Let's get 5 minutes and then we can fix the issue. I'll just deal with the notification. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm actually first going to, whoa, not do that. Scale this up. So I thought it was kind of a cool, potentially cool thing to try and sketch these expressions as a warm-up. So let's just get going into it. No timers, no nothing. Just away we go. Straight into it, shall we? So see where we can simplify some shapes. Oh, this notification, I tell ya. Alright, I'm seeing a slight, just like a little neck tilt here. Alright, I can't deal with that notification. You guys can still hear me, so that's all that matters. I just have no music. Alright, so I'm gonna big ears as usual. Eyes the stream. Akela when? Is it quiet? Catch you later, Lem. Rianne Turtonator. Great to have you. Yeah, let me know if this is too quiet. It could just be the mic because it's very sensitive to moving about, which I tend to do. Alright, so let's see. I see that shape. And these eyes. They ain't too happy. But they're not angry. They're just fed up of this notification going off. So this is what I'm kind of seeing from a simplification standpoint. Good, no music, better. Can you not hear the music? Why? Why can you not hear the music? Okay, that's better. We're back. Holy frick. Okay, there was music, but it stopped. Alright. Look, you take 1 week off, and everything just goes to shit. Alright, so these eyes. What I'm looking at with the eyes. Is this. Right? Fed up. Not angry. Not annoyed. Just boom, boom. And if this notification goes one more time, I swear to God. Loadsy, great to have ya. Okay, so it's just a warm up. Seeing if we can capture some expressions. Maybe we whip a bit of color on him. But really what I'm focusing on is just the simplest of shapes. A lot of it has to do with the eyelashes. The eyelashes and the eyebrows. A lot of this other stuff can kind of, it can help, it's a supplement, definitely, but these eyebrows and the eyes and like the lids, sorry, no, oh, the lids, lashes, same, you know what I'm talking about. This is really where a lot of the emotion comes from. Just cruising on out, giving this a whirl. Now we need to make a distinction as to how stylized we want to go with certain features. Like, do I want to have this little lip there, or do I just want to keep it super simple? You know, like the little lip triangle, like the M. Pablo, how you doing? Right, that could be an option. Alright, now I do want to flip the canvas because things can start to look pretty wonky pretty quick from experience. Flipping the canvas is always a good idea. Now we could do a couple of things. We could start grabbing the... Oh, it's good just to sit and draw. I haven't done this in a little while. Since last stream, I think. Now, we can also scooch the eyes out a little bit if I'm going for a little bit more lightness. His ears are very, very large. You bloody know it, Lana. You know the drill. It's my stream. big ears or nothing. Harchu, are you planning on going to Lightbox this year? I will be there. I will be at Lightbox this year. So that's going to be good fun. Booked my flights. Passport is in the mail. I can't wait. I'm going to figure out if I have power. As in like plug like electric power in my, what would you call it? Booth? Or at my table? Oh, this fucking notification. Is there a slide thing I can do here? Okay, let's get a bit of this. This basketball jersey. Harchu, have you been to Lightbox before? I have not. It's going to be a bit of an adventure. Yeti. Yes. Yeah, I'm going. It's going to be good fun. First time for you as well. Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, it's going to be good fun. Bloody long flight though. 15 odd hour flight. But I'm going to see if I can work my little tookus off. Do some YouTube scripting. Plan some videos, content, all that fun stuff, which could be beneficial. Alright, give me a sec. I'm finding a bloody phone charger and I'm plugging my phone in and I'm removing this notification. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, the phone will charge, we'll turn the notification off. Oh, you're from Europe? Ah, Sweden, nice. How long's the trip gonna be? Kaneki, how you doing? Oh, God, I missed a whole bunch of things on IG. Nut ZZZ, love from India. Appreciate it, Nut Z. Great to have you. Alright, so let's just start playing. Let's knock back the layer. Okay, knock back the layer. Let's see if we can just play with refining just a couple of these shapes as we go. Yeah, Lana. probably see it, Lightbox. I've got to figure out what I'm doing there as well, because I've got a table. I'm going to be hanging out. I would like to do this kind of thing, like have my borrowed Christian Cintiq or tablet and like bring a monitor or something and just hang out, you know. Oh, Lana, it's nice for some. Just better go for a bit of a walk and you're there. Damn, Katie. You know, I would love it to be like a yearly thing that I do, is hop over to America and hang out for the month. I think I might be going to Slew's art thingamabob. Pretty cool. Art gallery? Exhibit in New York. That'll be sick. I think he mentioned it in one of his recent videos. Marcio, on YouTube you can barely hear me. How annoying. I don't know why. Why is that on YouTube? Is it? And on Instagram it's fine. That is frustrating. Beyond belief. Yeah, everyone in chat at the moment, how am I sounding on YouTube? Is it that low that you can't even hear me? Like if I just touch it up just a smidge. How's that? Hopefully that's a little bit clearer. It's fine for me? Okay. Well, hopefully that adjustment didn't blow your, your eardrums out. For me it sounds fine. Okay. Interesting. Odd. So here I'm looking at the slightly like smaller shapes, right? His chin doesn't come to a point. We can accentuate that like, boom, that just like bottom of the chin. Right, maybe bigger chin. Now we'll play around with a little bit of the ear. Here. Give it a little bit of volume instead of being so pointy. It's kind of just not lazy. I guess it's just a habit that I've gotten into, is just the old rip. That works. Is there any good food you'd like to try while you're in LA? I'm not much of a foodie personally. I'm very boring with with my diet. I'm literally just like eat the same thing pretty much every day. But when in Rome, eat some good food, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's not something I'm really I've thought much about. Does anyone have any recommendations? I've got no idea. I've tried Korean barbecue for the first time this year, which was spectacular. place opened up near me. Never had it before. I got it. I do have to have a pizza slice. I need a pizza slice and a coffee. If you like tacos and Mexican, LA got the best I've ever had. All right, well, I'm down for that. I do enjoy a bit of Mexican. We've got like one main Mexican place here, which is Zambrero's. Oh, and there's another one opened up, which is Guzman and Gomez, I think it's called. All right, so this is where we're at with the face at the moment. Not terrible, not amazing though, but that's all right. It's just a sketch. Now what we can do is we can even push. I reckon I want to push like the eyes out a little bit more, because that's what I'm seeing. Like the eye separation is quite large. So we could like just knock them out just a smidge. Which kind of makes it look a little bit more like him. Again, I'm not going for super likeness. I don't really care that much. Just for the little warm up. But it's just the little things that can help. And the nose. I think we may be able to simplify the nose a little bit more. Let's try. Like sometimes it's good just to try it, like move it around. Like, does the nose up higher make more sense? It kind of does. Like, I don't hate that. Smoke nose is a little smaller and like up a little more. That can work. Gives us some room to play with the mouth. Like, yeah, I don't know if I like it. That's the beauty of just moving stuff around. Can't go wrong with a quesadilla. I don't think I've ever had a quesadilla. What's a quesadilla? Quesadilla. I've heard it. I don't know what that is. No. Is it? I think it's like pita bread, but like a taco in pita bread. You know? Korean barbecue is amazing. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was wicked. A churro, dude. I do enjoy me a good churro. They remind me of just Disneyland when I went when I was like 13. It just like brings that experience just poof, straight back. Bashar, how you doing? Pita bread? You know what? You know what pita bread is, Lana? Or is it? Or is it like it's like a wrap? Maybe. It's just like folded and you like toast it, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Thungans, what's going on? Artistic, how you doing? Super, our local blender guru, how you doing? Great to see you. It's a tortilla. Tortilla, that's the one. Pita bread tortilla. Same, but different. I'll give it a whirl. IKEA meatballs, yes. Dude, IKEA's fucking awesome for that. I do enjoy a good IKEA trip. It's right by our airport. I actually parked in the IKEA parking lot this morning. Dropped off someone at the airport. My lady, someone. All right, I think we can whip some color in here, and then maybe we can try the different expression. So what I'm going to do, pretty typical thing. I've really been itching to get some sculpting done as well, like some digital sculpting, because I've got a 3D printer sitting there ready to go. I don't know if last week, I don't know if I showed, or it wouldn't have been last week, but the week before. I don't know if I showed you what I've been working on for the YouTube video with the skull. I'm not sure if I did. I'll show you again anyway. Like it's so, like I'm so pumped for it because you can get really, really detailed with the connection points of things. Local, but on the other side of the planet. We're local right here. You're on my screen right now. That's pretty local. You're within arm's reach. Pablo, quesadilla is tacos with cheese. Good explanation. Joao. Wow. Is that how you pronounce your name? Wow. Wow. Vitor, how you doing? My apologies. You know what pita bread is, Lana? You from England? Oh, maybe it's not an English thing. Pita bread. It's like it's just like flatbread, I guess you'd call it. Look at that. We're learning the cuisines of the world. That's what you get on this stream. Don't just get boring drawing. Ew. You get an education. Oh, you do? Okay, I was gonna say. I was gonna say. All right, let's add in some bit of the eyebrows. You know, more kind of sketchy, I guess you could say. Not in like, oh, it's a bit dodge. It's more so like loose, for lack of a better word. Now, as I've talked about a few other times on stream, the hairline is where I can fall apart. Not really fall apart. I would say more so I neglect the hairline. So what we can do is more so the transition from the skin into the hairline. I'll oftentimes make it way too pronounced, I guess you could say. So we can do something about that. There's going to be some finessing needed here, but that's all right. I think it's a difficult name for English speakers. It is a Brazilian name. Give us a shot. See, like, how would you I'm not sure how you do this through text, but how would you tell someone how to say it? I'll give it a go. Give it a whirl. Let's add in some color variation here. Speaking of color variation, been working on some more special edition Janes. This one I painted up yesterday. This one's coming with me to Lightbox. So she's going to make the trip. But yeah, I've been absolutely falling in love with just like airbrushing and stuff, because you can see, like, I've got to think about all the things I'm thinking about here with color variation. I have to think about in real life with like the undertones of everything. So you got like the redness of the ears, the cheeks and the nose, but not too extreme. And you get this done by using transparent paints through the airbrush and with a brush as well. So it's like, it's good fun. And I don't know if you can even see it if the camera picks it up. You can maybe see like a little bit of the yellow hues in the skin up here, maybe a little bit less so. It's hard with this light, but like maybe a little bit less so down here. I'm thinking about doing a video on that. I want to sort of put her under like different lighting scenarios, like different colored lights, because this is an RGB light, to show like, all right, if she was blue, how that would actually affect the, you know what, if it wants to work, let's see if we can do it now, because we get a lot of questions about like, what's the best skin color? Like, how do you draw, like, what's the best colors for skin? Great question, but it's a wrong question. There are no wrong questions, but it's a misguided question. So let's see if we can connect to the light itself. Can I? We're on stream. Just work with me. Whoa, okay. So this is turned like super blue. You can see that you can still pick up that color variation, even though it's a completely different color, right? You can still tell that it's like it's skin. And that's what color variation does, because if it was just a one color, like just a flat color, it'd be hard to kind of differentiate. Like if you go super red, well, that just knocks it way out. But it's like the skin color completely changes, but the relationship between the color variation is the thing that kind of holds it together. If that makes any sense at all. I didn't think that through. That explanation. I know what I'm talking about. In my head, I need some work to explain it better. Color theory is so complex. It is tricky. It definitely is tricky. How long did it take to 3D print? That's actually not a 3D print. That's from an original clay, a clay sculpt. This is what's left of that original clay sculpt. She's pretty bloody, she's hefty. But when making the mold, it kind of gets ruined. But I've kept this. But yes, and then that's rotocast by hand. I've actually got a video of me doing it in an old stream. But here, so I'm going to take, so the whole tangent of that is to say that I'm thinking about a similar thing here. Right, so the redness of the nose, redness of the ears. We could keep it blocky like this. I might want to fade it in just a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit more depth to the skin tones here. Maybe a little bit of like greens even, like around the eye. Right. I'm not really thinking about values like the lights and the darks at this very moment. I'm just trying to lay in some different color variations. Makes the skin come to life in a lot of ways, 1000%. That's a sound bite you don't want. Oh no, what did I say? I can't remember. Coming to the end of my own art block right now. That's good to hear, Super. Good to hear. Glad to hear it's at the end. but how did you make her look so perfect if that one is ruined? Because when you make the mold, and what breaks her apart there is getting her out of the mold. So oftentimes the clay, because it's so malleable, it'll like, some parts will stay in the mold accidentally, so you just got to rip her out essentially, and then pick those pieces out. But at the end of the day, you've got a mold of what was originally the clay sculpt. And then I took that mold, cleaned that up, and like smoothed it all down, and like did a bunch of sanding and filling and sanding and filling. Then I made a mold of that one, which is the final one that's been shipping out. The R has a nasal sound, kind of like when you say "un" in fun, or "ng" in song. Oh, Yongo Vitor, maybe Yongo Vitor. Well, give me a rating out of 10 of that one. Did you take sculpting lessons before that, or is it just the first time trying this out? It wasn't my first time, because I've been experimenting with it a little bit before, but I only picked it up kind of last year, which has been a ton of fun. I had been doing digital sculpting though, which did help definitely, and they all help each other, which is why I recommend like 2D artists pick up sculpting, whether it be like traditional or digital or both. There's no reason why you can't do both. Let us add in, if it's all right with you guys, a little bit of redness to the lips. Now in this one he's got kind of like a smirk, like he's kind of smiling, so we want to kind of change that to just a flat kind of expression. Super. What's interesting about what you just showed is that despite the flexibility of LED lights, their red color is still a very different effect from a standard bulb light with a red gel in it. Definitely. Peter Griffinson. I haven't played Helldivers. I haven't played anything. I think the next game that I will play is Grand Theft Auto when it comes out, and then I'll probably play that for like a day, and then I'll just watch other people play it online while I work. if I'm being honest. All right, now I want to kind of maybe blend. We could do a quick little. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try something different. We grab this. Let's go filter. We could do this by hand, so that's why I'm okay with doing this. Gaussian blur. Gaussian, one of them, right? And just sort of blend them in so they're not as like harsh. That makes sense. So we still have something to work with, but it's not as like hard line. Right, and then let's keep going. Grab. Excuse me. Thank you. Whip the eyes in here. That's fine. It works okay. Cool. And I think we can really push some of this rosiness in the cheeks. Maybe even give like a warmer, maybe even like a peach sort of glaze over the top, to use a traditional term. So is that what an overlay is going to do? No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's a little bit intense for my liking. Let's see what's... I like to use multiply in a couple of different scenarios. One is to darken things, but others is to kind of use it as an overlay. If you really brighten the color up and you're light with the old stylus, you can kind of just... It's the equivalent of just getting a real transparent like on the airbrush and just going over the whole thing just to give it a little bit more color, a little bit of a tan. Well, not really tan, but you know what I mean. But Shah, I love it being your first mold made. You're the new Dr. Frankenstein. Probably without the end sound. The first try was actually better, but we can use the VTOR for, I think it's easier. Fair enough, VTOR. Appreciate it. Gore Cian. I noticed a lot more artists are picking up physical mediums like sculpting, painting, plein air, and just overall using more traditional mediums. Super cool to see. I agree. I picked up gouache as well. I'm picking up gouache. That's been a lot of fun. Lani, you got a blender type of app and it's so hard, but I can see now how it helps. Was it Nomad Sculpt? That I would highly recommend checking out. Not sponsored, although I should be the amount of times I've told people to get Nomad Sculpt on the iPad. It's bloody great. Rachel, how you doing? But I haven't figured out how to make anything on it yet. One person that I find is really, if you want some inspiration, Dave Reed, I believe. I think his handle is Drug-Free Dave. It might be. Oh no, it's free. Okay, fair enough, Lana. Yep, no. But sometimes, not all the time, this isn't true for everything, but sometimes the user interface of the paid versions as well, or paid things, are a lot easier to get up and running, and it's worth the whatever it is to pick it up. There's notifications. Unfortunately, the music stopped. Or have they? I don't know. You guys might still be hearing the music. I think you are. And we're back. Now what I'm going to do with the eyes, let's round them out. I'm going to use Alpha Lock and a bit of the old airbrush. To sit them in the head a little bit more. Seldom, almost never, like I never say never, but seldom are the eyes, or the whites of the eyes actually white. You've probably heard that a lot. But one thing that I sometimes miss is this corner of the eye, really darkening that down to get that roundness. Because at the end of the day, They are just shiny spheres sitting in the head. Alright, so we still want the transition to show. That's what's gonna really sell that it's a round object. And what I'm talking about here is this corner. Let's Alright, so that kind of sells them a little bit more, and then we can come in and finesse it. What I might do as well, do I want to do this? I do like the sketchiness of the lines, like coming outside, but that does clean it up a tad. That's alright, we'll just keep cruising. Now this is a tricky kind of lighting because it's very soft. Very soft. Let's get at least some of these eyes feeling somewhat correct. Faha, what's happening? Yeah, Drug Feed, he's put a lot of stuff out with Nomad Sculpt. Like he's great. And I think he does the 3D printing as well, which is cool. But I've got an idea what I'd like to do, like a larger I guess project. One of my projects that's on my plate that I've got to figure out when and where and how to do it is, you remember some of you might remember the Travis Barker drumming illustration that I did. I want to do all three of them. So I want to do Mark, the alien bloke. What the fuck is it? What's his name? Mark, Travis, and oh, you idiot! I know who it is. I just mental blank. The other guy, the other guy in Blink 182, and I want to actually make them like full, like about not full size, obviously, but like that large, but like they're posed as if they're playing, and have them like that. That'll be like, and do it like as a full YouTube video, and how I went about it, the problems that I had, sculpting them, blah 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 blah. That I reckon would be really, really fun. Like all stylized and stuff. I reckon that'd be sick. Sebastian Deza. Hey Ben, do you prefer the iPad over a pen tablet with no display like that? I don't prefer either. It's just different tools for different jobs. iPad's great for sitting on the couch, out and about, doing stuff. This is good here because I can just look straight ahead, and it's good for like just my posture even. And that's why I do enjoy this setup as it is at the moment, if that makes sense. Spicy kimchi, what's happening? Hi there. Any rendering tips? I'm an art baby. Lots of rendering tips. Do you have rendering questions? That's the real question here. So we're slowly getting somewhere. I'm trying to find the roundness of the forms. All right, because it's kind of front, it's like front on, very soft lighting, as I mentioned before. So we've got to take that into account. Depending on how hard you like to draw, drawing tablet may be better to use than an iPad. True, that's true. Also, you can get much larger tablets as well than the iPad size, so I do feel a little bit restricted in that respect. Like, I want them to come out with a 27-inch bad boy iPad. They won't, because the market for that, oh, no, I guess never say never, but I would be very surprised if they did that. That'd be amazing. Now the likeness isn't there, but that's alright. We can work on that. All of them, I can't seem to get any of the methods right. Apple market ain't there yet, yeah. Well, depending on the price point, I mean, I'd pay for that in a heartbeat. I'd just be like, yep, done. It's like whether they're going for more, like they're very consumer facing. So, what am I trying to do? Shape dynamics, tilt, angle jitter, penciled. There we go. That's what I'm after. Here we go. Now we can start to sculpt. They did experiment with the Vision Pro. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Rachel. They've been trying traditional art again, kind of to escape a little from digital. Funny to see how I depend on the digital tools. Yes. Yeah. It's, I reckon they help so much. Just with efficiency. Can also do a little sneaky multiply layer, I reckon, and let's whip in some of these little, whoa, freckles. But I would like to shift the hues so they're not all the same color. Now, one thing I'm noticing with the hair, see, I seldom like go very formulaically, like step 1, step 2, step 3, and then done. Probably to a fault. That would be really nice if that was the case. But I'm not like I just bounce around and whatever I see I'll go and try and fix. One thing I might want to do quickly before what I was going to mention is let's play around with this line color. Let's add just a little bit of something different to the line. Don't want to like blast it completely out of reality, but just something along those lines might be nice. Donjet. Epidemic sound, type in chill. And then I choose one of the whatever you call it, playlists. So what I was going to talk, what I was mentioning was the hair. So what we can do, the reason the hair gets darker at the top is because you've got all those hairs like sticking out, and they're kind of stuck to the top of the head, or stuck to the head obviously, and they're poking outwards. But as it gets to the top here, less light is going to shine through. So you're kind of looking through, almost imagining like a forest. You see a few of the trees, right? And you can sort of start to separate all the individual trees out. But as you look further out into the forest, it's just dense. That's kind of how I'm thinking about this. Is forest of hair is going to be a lot darker. The denser, not necessarily the denser that the hair is, but the denser that the angle of where we're looking at the hair is. If that makes any sense at all. I think we can shape up. Well, shape up these lips here. Keep them simple, I think. So these are the decisions that you can make between realism and stylized. Here we can go, I mean, this is pretty pixelated, right? Which is kind of helping me, so I'm not getting too caught up into the details. But do we do the exact mouth shape, or do we just really simplify it down? Do we just choose to ignore that in favor of simplicity? If you know what I'm saying. This is where I'm seeing a little bit of that green. Just around where the lips. And this is where sculpting comes in super handy, because you can, instead of always just looking at 2D images, you can start to understand, okay, at this angle, you would know that this dips back and this dips out, this dips back, this dips out. This would have like a wireframe like that. So this plane here is closer to us than this plane, right? And this plane. And this is sort of facing us. And that's how I'm making my decisions with these little darker values here. Hopefully that makes sense. Would you agree digital is much better than traditional for 2D animation? Define better. That would be my, like, better speed wise potentially, but I'm not one to talk on that. I'm not an animator, so I don't know. Quality wise, it's anybody's guess. Depends on the animator. Because I think there's something to be said about that tactile feel of traditional. But you can also get that digitally as well. I think it might be time. I think it might be time. What's it time for in chat? What do you reckon? One of the OGs that have been with me for a while. What am I going to do next? Lana, you got to trust the big ears. You know, it's just more surface area to add color variation. Blender? Potentially, but let's say keep it within this process. What am I thinking? Hamza 92, how you doing? Sam, what's happening, my friend? Hope you and your lady are doing well. Time to have a coffee. Oh, I'm all set here. The yerba. I'm double dipping. Mind you, this is yesterday's, so probably not the best. Highlights? No, I'm going to be merging everything down into one layer. Are you asking to promote your stuff, or are you looking for inspiration? I'm not sure what you mean, Rachel. So I'm going to group them together, duplicate that group, and then I'm going to merge it all into one because I find it at certain stages it's easier to manipulate and make the changes that I need. Whoa, get out of here. When it's all just one layer. So now we're just going to start using the palette of the face that we've put down, these skin tones and whatever, to just start manipulating it however I feel fit to do so. I'm not sure if that's proper English. Pablo, it's funny because I don't understand the English language much, but you explain it so well that I can understand it. Ah, that's awesome. That's cool. Soon there'll probably be like straight up just translation in my voice, in the way that I talk, and that'll be awesome. Ines, hey Ben, any idea when the next art drop might be? I'm getting stuff prepared for a Lightbox exclusive art drop, so only the people that can come to Lightbox will be able to get stuff off the website. But probably, if there are leftover things from Lightbox, I might do a smaller drop after that. So that might be like November-ish, potentially. You're thinking about cars, or like maybe, I don't know if yeah, no, it's merging. Hamza, Ben, you make money off commissions, YouTube, or job? The social media is my job, so yeah, I make money off of YouTube. I don't do any commissions really, just because I'm focusing on this, building the social side of stuff. I make money from the art drops. I make money from my 8-hour 10 chapter walkthrough tutorial on Gumroad. I fluffed it. The plug, but yeah, no, from the Gumroad tutorial with a 40-page PDF field guide if you enjoy reading. But Francis and I are actually working on something pretty cool to do with a course that'll come out hopefully later on in the year. But that I'm really excited about. But yeah, so from a business side, that's where I make all of my income. my focus is going to be more on YouTube videos moving forward and growing that side of things. So the way I want to set it up is that I keep doing the educational content, of course, because I just enjoy doing that. We're building the YouTube channel that will promote the art drops, which then will promote, I don't know, whatever I want to do next, you know. But all, like, yeah, trying to tie it all into a nice little ecosystem, if that makes sense. And try and keep it fun for me, you know. I don't want to be, the goal is to be my own sponsor on YouTube. Because then I don't have to necessarily, not say that I won't take sponsors in the future, but that's the goal. Oh, the Filthy plugin as well. Yeah, that as well. No worries, Ines. Super peachy. Love watching your process. Do you always do studies or OCs on stream as well? Yeah, I do OCs as well. I think you go back a few streams. I just wanted to chill in a few streams and just do these studies because these are just fun. They just start the week off right. No stress, but a couple of I've still got my mind set on that gorilla and the girl. That'll be a fun one. Even taking that into the sculpting realm and going back and forth between a 2D and 3D thing, and then maybe even 3D printing. I do want to do a Blender stream, like a separate Blender stream than just 2D stream. So I have like 2D, 3D kind of streams. Right, so what I'm seeing here as well is there's like a plane, like here. It's not as pronounced as that. I mean, you could do it as pronounced as that. There's no rules to any of this, but that's what I'm thinking about. And then it's all up to me as to how hard that transition is going to be, you know? And keeping in mind some of these color variations along with the values, because if we, I don't think the black and white's going to work, but if we were to turn this black and white, it would still read even with all these color variations going on, if that makes sense. And a book and a short animated film someday, maybe, potentially. I mean, it's a long road. That's the exciting thing about it, you know. And thinking outside of the realm of what other people have already done, or taking inspiration from other industries. Like that's the exciting part. Archu, a bit of a boring question. Does social media income take a lot of taxes? How does that work with getting paid from social media? Just curious about the logistics of it. I get taxed just as if I would, just usual, wherever the income comes from. It doesn't really matter. It's I get taxed the same. But when I say I make most of my income through promoting my own things on social media, if that makes sense. So it's not necessarily from Google AdSense or anything like that. I don't want to rely on that, because then that, I feel, or I've got a hunch that you can get on a little bit of a hamster wheel with that, and then I've got to like pump out a video a week, and then the value could potentially drop because of whatever reason. It's just there's that need to, I've got to hit a certain number of views or I'm not going to get paid, you know. So then that almost creates another job in a way, like a very fucking stressful job. So I'm trying to do it in a way where I promote my stuff. It's always out there. I'm in control of it as best I can. Again, not saying that I'm not going to work with anyone in the future sponsor wise, but yeah, not being reliant or beholden to being stressed about the number of views I need to get. I've got to hit a certain number, you know what I mean? So that's just going to be up to me to make the content as consumable as possible. But that's part of the game as well, right? That's part of the fun. If you don't know, welcome back. Hamza, did I study art in college? I went to industrial design school for a year and then dropped out when the drawing stuff stopped. Which is, yeah. So that was the extent of my quote-unquote art college. That wasn't even for art, it was for like, well, industrial design, definitely art. You classify that as art, but I started to get into like CAD and all that sort of stuff, which would be very helpful now when I'm like producing products and packaging and I'm using a little bit of that interest of mine. But what really got me going into like being interested in the industrial side of stuff was industrial design sketching. Like if you look at you go to Pinterest. Just log in. So if you look at industrial design sketching, like this kind of stuff, there's like so much beauty to this. It's not just like perspective and whatever, like there's a huge portion to that, but I just really loved the aesthetic of it, and that's what I saw that I could be taught a little bit about in industrial design school. I was like, sick, yeah, cool. And then as soon as that was only a small portion of it, if I'm honest, and then as soon as that stopped and that was no longer going to be taught, I was like, oh fuck it then, I'm out. It's a no from me. So, and then a lot of it is I've just learnt on my own through courses, either in person or online, and just going through and hunting for the information. But for the last 10 years, I was started a software company with a few mates, and that was what I was focused on. So I didn't even do art, quote unquote, for most of my 20s really. I did it for fun. Wasn't a job. She don't know. Were you going to make games or tech products? I didn't even know what I wanted to do with the industrial design. I was just thinking, hey, this drawing style looks cool. Apparently they're going to teach me it in this course. Cool. And I just felt like, all right, everyone else is going to uni. Actually, at that time, I also wanted to be a professional poker player as well. So there was that. And then, yeah, that was kind of frowned upon. So I was like, oh, fuck, all right, I'm going to do something else. So then I started a startup, which is still live and going. Francis is a part of that. If you're familiar with Francis, he's one of my good mates that helped me out making the Filthy plugin here. So I still absolutely love the tech side of things, like coding, understanding to just create digital products and that kind of stuff. And that's part of what I was talking about with the course thing. So it's going to be, yeah, nothing to share at the moment, but I am looking forward to working on that and sharing more in the near future. I think we can actually, on this, let's whip out that airbrush and ever so slightly, let's erase that dot there. And this is so, like, this is really low. This is like, the opacity is like 9. So if you want really, really subtle transitions, that's another way to capture that, is just knocking down that opacity in the flow and then seeing what you can get. Like, you'll know when you've gone too far. Like, all right. And then you can always come back through and erase it again, knock that opacity back. Alright, so without, see how light that is? We've really like seated some form in there. If that probably doesn't, that's not the right description word, but it's also going to give us some room to play with some of the highlights. What I mean by that, I mean, we could create highlights by erasing. All these tools in here are just a means to an end. Alright, so I could come through here and erase. If I did this actually, what if I just did that, did multiply, so dark, too dark for the correct value. If we just knock that back a tad, then we can come through and use like a mask over the top, and then kind of knock in some highlights very subtly. It depends how subtle you want to be. Like, this is just one of many, many, many ways of doing this kind of stuff. We know that the light source is very soft, so we don't want anything that's too in your face. Artistic Spartan, yeah, I hated CAD in high school. I honestly, I wish I don't know if I wish I stayed, but I wish I learned more about CAD. Just for this specific period of my life now, where I'm going to need it. But that's what courses are for, right? That's what YouTube's for. And it's going to be very targeted that study, which is cool. Now I'm literally just using a mask here on top of that multiply layer. See, without it, with it, without it, with it. So that's just another way to add forms. Subtracting stuff, adding stuff. Harchu, did you ever feel overwhelmed with the amount of learning material that is available on art? How did you pick and choose what feels best to learn first? These are very good questions. Yes, I did. I took the same strategy as when I was sort of teaching myself to code and all that kind of stuff. Is what's my goal? What's my goal here, right? What do I want to get out of this study? And work back from there. If my focus isn't environments, then I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on environments, you know? That sounds very simplistic, but you can get caught, or at least I have done, in like, oh, I have to hit these milestones first before I'm like allowed to learn this other, like this next topic. So then I just went sort of more foundational with what I was researching, like, okay, what's the fundamentals of light? What's like, how do I caricature things, and trying to find stuff that, hunting for the information from people that I might not necessarily want to emulate, but their techniques and how they get to a certain place I admire. So for example, Tom Richmond, I believe, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. Fantastic caricaturist. I'm not trying to emulate his style, but I wanted to know how he got someone's likeness. So then I studied a bunch of his stuff. Because I think he was with like Mad Magazine and that kind of thing. So I was trying to just like find nuggets, and then I'll take courses and from people that I admire, and it might just be a specific thing that I want to know, like a workflow or something like that. So it is a journey. Lorraine, welcome back. Lana, but his hair and sharp edge colors, is that an airbrush brush, or that's the plug-in one? It's a bit of both. So I think I cut back in. And again, you can do it with or without the plug-in, but it's not a terrible idea to actually start with a hard edge somewhere, right? Particularly in this case, the hairline, and then trying to find that transition either with shapes or, as you mentioned, using the airbrush to kind of come in and smooth out the hairline. But you notice I've got to be careful with the airbrush because it can look very airbrushy, for lack of a better word. So I do want to be kind of careful, at least with the style that I want. You know, I do enjoy that like hard-edged look to some of my stuff, you know. Like here, I think this can be smoothed out a little bit more. Flip it. He's also something I want to get So this warm up has turned into what we're doing today. My apologies if that's not what you're expecting. We might, because I've got to bounce at maybe in like 45 minutes. Way too pronounced. So let's see if we can do something like that. That's nice. That's a little better. I'll get a little bit fancy. In the eye here, but I'm using screen, aren't I? So making sure there's like transitions with the disc or the bowl of that iris of where that light is going to hit, which then makes it a little bit more believable. Now we can have his iris, his pupil like quite small, or we could make it look like he's bloody pinging, but I like the larger pupil. And the reason that I like to like flatten everything down is because I can make these changes pretty quickly. If I want to just change the shape of the eye and bring it down a little bit more, I can just do that. I don't have to go back and find the line where I put that eyelash, you know. I can just come and do the same here, and boom. Now he's not looking technically where I want him to look, you know. This is a little bit too pink for my liking, so we can even come back through. No, not pen pressure, pen tilt. Kind of looks like Eminem. Young Brat, hello, I'm trying to learn more, lean more into making my art more expressive, like how they do it in 2D Disney animation, or even how you do it. What are your tips to accomplish this? Very broad question. Lots of tips. I think it's a good exercise to identify a particular, I guess you could say, skill set that you're looking to achieve. Are you looking to get more like when you say expressive, could you get more descriptive with that? And another tip would be to see how other artists are solving the same problems that you're trying to solve. Meaning, you could think of everything on this face as a problem to solve, like the eyes. How did I simplify these eyes? I didn't go and have a look at like the almond shape of the eyes and everything. I really simplified them down to just straight up lid, circle, you know? So I guess as like an overall tip is to look at, what do I say, individual features or things where you think your work is lacking in your expressiveness that you mentioned, and see where others have done something different, and see if you can find the difference between the two, if that makes sense at all. As a fellow redhead, you really are capturing that complexion perfectly. No, I appreciate it. I got Yeti Fresh's stamp of approval. I'm glad. Ink by Nezing. Sir, please, what type of pen brush we need to create portrait like this? Because I love all your art detailing. This is a brush you can grab on my Gumroad. It's free. It's called the Long Skinny Line. I'm just changing it from like turning off the shape dynamics from pen pressure to do line work stuff. Turn the pen pressure off, then it's just one solid stroke, and that's what I'm using at the moment. And I could have used that the whole time. I use the lasso tool with the filthy plugin. Shout out, shameless plug. I use it. Not afraid to mention it because I use it all the time to make shapes quickly and easily, but not needed. As we slowly incorporate more of these highlights, it's going to start giving that effect of the similar lighting scenario here. So I'm looking at all the, what's the word? All the planes that light is going to hit. So we see the highlights on the nose, these little wings in the cheeks, you'll see some of that. You'll probably even see a bit of highlight here in the eye. I think we can do a little bit with the eyes. They look a little bit plastic for my liking. So let's come in here. And this is what I had to do for Plain Jane as well. I had different color variations in the eyes because it did look like I don't know if you can even notice it, but like in the corners, like this is like a really pretty dark gray if you see it in person, but like in the corners, like here and here of the eye, it's just got a hint of pink that I added into the gray. So that's kind of what I'm gonna try and do now, to just have them sit a little bit nicer in the whole face, in the scene of the face. Pablo, I think there should be a balance between the hard edges and the soft edges of the airbrush so that everything doesn't look blurred. Agreed. So that's what I'm going to do now. That's what I'm trying to do, is do more of this hard edged highlights. That's a good opportunity, excuse me, to do that. Then I'll come back just with the lasso tool. It's Scoots. How you doing? Super. When it comes to expression or over-exaggerate, if you go too far, pull it back for next time. Finding the balance between to exaggerate and not to exaggerate enough is about practice. Definitely. I'd almost err on the side of going too far and then pulling it back rather than being too timid, because I've done that a lot, and I oftentimes find that if I'm too timid with it, then it kind of looks in this weird, like, uncanny valley of like realism, stylized. Like, it's not the look I was going for. As I'm starting to look at these highlights here, we can add some on the top of that lip, which will have that start to fit in with everything else. Do we want that there? I think that's reasonable. Maybe soften that edge here. Let's add it. Let's give him a little bit of context here with his thingamawhatsits. His jersey. Again, this isn't going to be like white. You know that it's white, but it's not. Yes and no. Whoa. I can't remember how the sort of collar, I guess you could say, of the jersey is meant to go, but that'll do. Alright, now we can kind of add in a little bit of this indication, maybe, of like a more stylized, like, clavicle. Taking cues from the reference. What I'm saying? His ears are massive. I'm just looking at him now. I'm like, holy shit, dude. The ears that I've drawn on him, not this gentleman's ears. If we can capture some of that texture. I don't play around with texture brushes too much, but maybe I should start. I'll make my own bloody texture brush. Young brats, yeah. So hopefully what I said makes sense. Is to try and simplify the shapes down. It is hard giving my thoughts on it without seeing your work, which then comes down to Travis's idea of redrawing your viewers' art in your style. I think I might start doing that. But young brats, it takes a long time. It doesn't come overnight, and I get frustrated still to this day. So just know that that's probably going to happen. Hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't happen for you. Now I think we can actually it's just that tiny nudge to get him to look in the camera. And even this one just a little bit. That up a little bit. We could do a cheeky little rim light as well. Knowing that there's going to be some texture on the side of his head. Yeah, it's good. It's Caricature, as I mentioned before, yeah. Caricature's great. Mike, M-I-C, or Mick, love your work. I'm glad I can tune in again. I want to get back into drawing, but every time I get into drawing the lips, I fumble so bad and get discouraged. It happens. The fumble is all a part of it. Doesn't make it any less sucky. Very frustrating. Believe you me, but it's a necessary part of the process, I guess. Get familiar with it, because it doesn't stop. Oh, we've got a visitor. Ollie. Hey, bud. Ollie. He's still here. Do you want to come up? No? Yes? No? He's looking into my soul. It scoots. Ben, is all your income crowdfunded / selling tutorial material, or do you go out and find clientele to work for, or do they come to you? And was it like that in the beginning when you left your day job? Well, without going into the whole back history of everything, all my income comes from me selling stuff, basically, and you get a bit of ad revenue, but that's it. People do reach out to me, and I didn't really have a day job before doing this. I had my own company and I was doing freelance software design and development. Tyler C, here we go. There's a budding artist about to be stranded on an island completely alone with his utensils. He yells to you, asking for the most important insight on creation that you have. What do you shout? I shout, I think you're dehydrated. That should be the last thing on your mind. You're on an island. I'll go get some help. They have no fast food, no more internet, and their phone fell into the water. Simple shapes are your friend, I guess. Get to know them very, very well. Both 2D and 3D. Hydrate. That's it. Lana, a big golden retriever came up to you today. That was great. Yeah, golden retrievers are great. Bashar, I would tell them to make a campfire, heat a watermelon, and enjoy the sun. Are you saying eat a watermelon? This is making the assumption that you just got watermelons growing willy-nilly on this island. I'd say don't drink any still water. Boil it before you drink it. What else? What's another survival tip? get Maker's Shelter quick. Needs to have a little bit more light on the ear. Same here, because again these are still 3D objects. They're bloody huge, but nonetheless they are still 3D objects. He looks fed up. Not having any of it. Sick of basketball. I'm getting way into the weeds here. Don't need to go anywhere near this far. This was meant to be a warm-up. Whoops. Two hours later. Sakaro, thank you. Catch you later, Super. What's wrong with Stillwater? These are Australian wilderness tips. You have all sorts of nasty bugs. You take one sip of the wrong water, your days are numbered. Yeah, why is your go bag just art supplies? Yeah, definitely. You get the ability to see exactly 10 seconds into the future, whenever you want, once a day. The trade-off is you can only draw and paint gorillas for the rest of your life. No backgrounds, just Rilla. Let's pros and cons this. What can we see? 10 seconds into the future, go straight to the casino. But what's 10 seconds? It's not long enough for roulette, so that doesn't help. Your cards are already on the table with blackjack, so that could help. Poker, I guess a little bit. 10 seconds, it would be handy. could display it as a talent and then get a lot of go on like a world tour showing my 10-second future thing. That could get some cash, but is it worth it only drawing gorillas? I like gorillas, but not that much. So now I'll skip on that one. Value babe. Hello. Travis, I love the longer drawing sessions on just one piece when you go quiet and go crazy in the mode. Drawing is where I'm really learning the most. Oh, awesome. I'm glad, because that's what we did today. Baranakis, how you doing? But how do you know what water is safe to drink if you're stranded? You don't know 1000%, but what you can do if it's fresh water, this is not advice. If you get sick because of this advice, I don't know. It's not coming from me. It's something that I saw. You can boil most water that is still or stagnant, and then it's fine to drink. Boil it like over a rolling boil for a long time, just to make sure it kills any nasty stuff. Or if it's, if it's running water, like flowing water, like a stream, you still don't know what's upstream. That could be harmful. So there's that. That's why they sell those like filter straw things. It's like carbon filter. Yeah, not a fan of this like massive eye though. So like there's something not fitting right here. So I think we can maybe widen the head out. This eye's a little bit too large potentially, maybe. I don't know, it's all little nitpicky stuff at this stage. Does this not sound like the loading screen of like a game? Now a little trick, which may or may not work, who knows, we will see. To get the illusion of some of this being cloth, I'm trying to find the ebbings and flowings of the material. While I'm just noodling here for the last 5 minutes, I will mention, if you want to learn more, we've got an 8-hour 10-chapter walkthrough tutorial available on my Gumroad right now. If you want to check that out, feel free. Links in the description. If you want to sign up to the early access list of my next art drop, or any future art drops, sell sculpts, prints that I hand make, like this plain Jane here, links in the description. The Filthy plugin that we've been using for a lot of this stream, you can grab that. It's a Photoshop plugin. Someone mentioned that there was an issue. Sorry, I missed that. I missed that. I missed that. Someone said that there was an issue getting it started, getting it working. Flick us an email and we'll see what we can do. I can't remember who that was. My apologies. There was someone. Laureen, I purchased the plugin, but I've had some issues importing it into Photoshop. Yeah, let us know the Photoshop number, like what version of Photoshop it is, and we can see if we can help you out. Can't you just use a live straw? Yeah, definitely. Prova Alex, people are dumb. If I predict 10 seconds into someone's life, I can start a cult very easily. Yeah, true. If you want to go dark like that, that is definitely a possibility. The ears seem a bit too large. Yeah, you're right. But it is what it is. They are what they are. Fine with it. Yeah, thanks Lana, appreciate it. And he's been to draw him a snack. Baranakas, yeah, I don't know, yeah. Some people are saying the audio is fine, others are saying that the voice is too low. I don't know what to do. Can make the music a little lower. I mean, we're about to head off in a sec anyway, so. See if we just had a bit of texture in the hair. What I'm doing here is taking like the value, the higher value, just down from, oh my god. So it's, I'm not just grabbing this and going like, yeah, woo, right? Because that's going to look a bit weird, right? I'm taking the slightly lighter value from here and doing it up on this level. Then I'm going to take this value here and then I'm going to do it on this level. So then it's very subtle. Alright, then I'm going to take this value and do the same in there. And do this here. Just break up a bit of that. Right, so it gives that a little bit of an illusion. Probably add a little bit more variation in here somewhere. Could even break the silhouette, which I don't mind doing as well. So we could come up here and then kind of cut in ever so slightly to just make a little bit of a jaggy edge. That top here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Boom, boom, boom. There, so the hair's looking a little bit more naturalistic, I guess you could say, instead of just like a flat gradient. All right, with that, I reckon we'll call it there. Right, good to get back into the swing of things. A little stylized study. All right, I want to get into a little bit more anatomy, a little bit more into like character stuff, but today is just sort of getting back into it. And thank you once again. Really appreciate it. It's always fun hopping in each week. So it's going to be same time every week, unless otherwise announced. 10:45 a.m. Australian Central Standard Time, which is around, I think, 6 p.m. PST. I think. Yeah. But I will I'll put the notifications out. I'll set up the stream. It'll be in YouTube. You know where to find me: Instagram, YouTube. You're smart people. Have a great rest of your day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you a ton, and I will catch you in the next one. And as usual, we've got to find how to end the stream. All right. Catch ya.